Hi, Yang. Nice to see you again.
Likewise.
Well, this is our third session, and I'm happy to see that you're following up with me every time you can. How are you doing from the last session to today? I know I saw you last week, and you were a little bit nervous.
I'm doing better.
You're doing much better. Is the tension at home a little bit better this week? Okay. So, we have been talking to you about safety and how to keep you and your family safe. We understand that you have decided to stay home with your children and with your husband. And we want to help you out, create a plan based on your family needs and your needs with the purpose of safety. If hopefully not, but if you ever find yourself again in danger, under the threat of violence from your husband, um, we need to have a plan on how are we going to get you out of there, how are you going to get yourself out of there and your children in a safe way. Um, and I would like to go with you over some questions that might help you and me create this plan. Are you willing to create a plan?
Sure, if you can help me, yes.
Have you ever thought ahead of time on, okay, he's getting a little bit upset, and you're already thinking, how can I de-escalate this? Or you have never found yourself on that situation. You just go with it.
No, not exactly, because I'm kind of afraid to just get out.
Okay, so you just stay there. Okay. Um, if you see that your husband's getting kind of violent with you and you already see him getting tense and you know that he's gonna be aggressive with you, are you able to find a way out fast out of your home? Can you locate a way, like, okay, this door, this window?
So I only have like the back door is I have a way out, because then I have a fence which is locked. So the best way would be the front door.
The front door. So, and in mind, you always have to keep your way out. It's always being close to the front door. And how about finding your keys in a fast way if you need to leave? How about if you decide or choose a specific place where to put your keys?
I do actually have an extra pair of keys on my drawer, and he's not aware of it, so I do.
Okay, so you already have access to an extra set of keys in case he takes them away from you or hides them. Um, have you mentioned to some of your maybe friends or neighbors that you're struggling, or are you willing to let them know that there is some tension going on? That way, if you need your help, you can go to them.
No, I don't know them as a personal level like that. So we just say hello on a daily basis, but we don't.
Will you be willing to ask them for help in case you gotta run and hide somewhere?
Sure, I wouldn't know how to come and let them know, but I guess if they were to hear me out and I would give them permission to go ahead and call in for help.
We know that you have children. Um, have you thought of teaching your children, or have you already done that? Maybe um, talk to them and let them know that, hey, when this is going on, you gotta call the police instead of waiting for you to call or for you to give instructions, for them to already know, like, my mom's being hit. I gotta call 911. Um, we can add that also to the plan where you talk to your kids and let them know.
Yes, well, my daughter, which is the older one, she's the one who normally just watches over the little one if something happens or occurs. So, but that would be a good idea. Yes.
It will be also good to um, find a word, a keyword to use. That way they can recognize, like mom said the word. It can be emergency, it can be fire. You can choose anywhere. It can be blue. It can be any word that you can let them know. Like whenever I say this word, you gotta call 911. Whenever I say this word, you get your stuff, or have them ready for that, so they can immediately get ready.
Sounds good.
I'm trying to go to the other one. Another good thing that we can add is like, for example, if you're having an argument, try to walk away from your room, from isolated places, and try to walk closer to the door, as far away as you can from walls and from corners and from places where you're not going to be able to escape from. We can also include that in the plan. You can also go as far as, if you're able to, and if you can pay for those classes, or maybe we can even find resources where they can give free classes for self-defense, and for you and for your children, not so you can engage into a fight, but so you can keep yourself safe and out of the hands.
Yes, I will love that. Yes.
This plan has a couple of different steps. I'm going to be going over another step, and then Jasenia and Fernanda will be going over the rest. So I'm going to be going over the second step, and that will be in regards to safety when preparing to leave. If you decide to leave, we know that right now you're not planning on leaving, but we have to have the plan, because what if, and there's an emergency and you definitely need to go. We recommend, or we encourage for you to have like money on the side hidden, or create a bank account that he's not aware of, and to save some money there. We understand that you don't work, but if your older child works and she's aware of all this, maybe she can help you save a little bit of money here and there. So if there's an emergency, you are able to leave and not be empty-handed. Keep copies of your papers, or have them handy where you can run. I don't know, you can keep some copies maybe in your vehicle, or maybe in a bag, or have in your vehicle always a change of clothes for you and your kids with papers, or at your friend's house. You can also do that. Let's say if you decide to talk to your neighbor and say, hey, do you mind if I leave this here? Or another friend that you might have, can I leave this here? If I have an emergency, I'll be passing and picking it up. That way he doesn't find it, he doesn't see it. And that will be a plan for you to just get up and go. And the last one that I just wanted to mention, I know right now we do not have a restriction order, and that is because you have decided to stay home and try to work things out. But we always have to keep in mind the what if, and if necessary, you know where to go to obtain a restriction order for him, which is you go to the police station, and we recommend that every time you have an incident, you do a report, because that would count as record that there was something going on in the household. So if you ever decide to get a restriction order, just go ahead and go to the police department and let them know what's going on. And since you have already had a couple of instances, there's already a record of events that have happened and aggression that has happened towards you and your children. So I'm gonna leave the place to my coworkers.
Hi, I just want to thank you and tell you how brave you are for coming here in the first place. It really shows a lot. Going off from what Miss Myrna said, I wanted to tackle more on like your possibilities of what you can do to sort of go out and like make friends and like a community where you are heard and understood. So I wanted to see if there's like any um programs you can possibly join in your community where other women like you are. So like any like for example, like arts of crafts programs. Like, is there anything you can do to go out and like really meet more people who are maybe help you a little bit more, you and your kids?
I really don't go out much, so I pretty much stay at home. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I guess not very relatable to be out there and about doing stuff for myself. So I have the two little ones too at home. So
Okay. Are you interested like in like possibly taking them to the park and being with other people just so like you're not always home alone with the children?
yes, there's actually a close by park here by the house. So yes, I can do that.
Okay, great. I have a couple of personal questions just to kind of know when you are safe and when you might need some help. Are you able to tell yourself when you feel like others are trying to control you in any way or form?
Yes, pretty much.
Are you able to read and like listen to music to help you feel a little better after a situation?
Yes, yes, I actually tend to do that.
That's really good to hear. Um, So, kind of going back to what Miss Myrna said, have you ever taught your kids on how to use the phone and just in case of an emergency were to arise?
No, I have none.
Okay. Do you think it's something that you can possibly teach your little ones?
Yes, I guess in a sense we don't really talk about the issue. It's just I feel like they're young and I don't know how to go about it. So
Yeah, I think that would be a really good place to start, just in case. Like, also going off what Miss Myrna said, have a code word with your children and say, like, hi, if mommy says blue, then can you please call 911? Or if you're ever with dad and need to call me, like, this is how you call mom, or like, this is my phone number. I think this is something that we should really try to focus on a little bit more just to keep you and your children safe at all times.
yes, I agree.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm going to pass it on to my coworker, Yesenia, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I really want to thank you today for trusting us. Um,
Mhm.
just letting you know you do deserve to be safe and feeling good about that. So we wanted to go over if there was if you ever changed your mind and you decided to leave. I want to make sure we want to make sure you have the essential documents that you need just in case and have them in a safe place so you can grab them and be ready to go if you ever decide to do that. Do you know all the documents that you need, like the IDs, the birth certificates, um, your immigration paperwork, or even bank information or comfort items from your children? I think having a good, copies of them and having them in a safe place for you to have them. So just in case you ever want to decide to do that, do you have a specific place that
I
you could?
do have, yes, I have a few of those papers that you mentioned actually in a box. Yes. I'm not sure what much more will I need besides those, but yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can we can go over it a little bit more, like the kids' social security cards, maybe medications, your green card or your immigration documents, even your Medicaid or SNAP benefits cards, just in case, um, or driver's license from your son, those type of things. I would maybe giving copies, photocopies of them, and, keeping them in a safe place, either in your box or with a friend, just in case you decide. Um, somewhere where your husband won't be able to see it or find them.
Mhm.
Another thing would be if you know any of the numbers for the school, for non-emergency police. Do you know them by heart, or do you have them saved in your phone?
No, I just kind of figured I can just do the 911. Very easy for me to just remember and call.
Okay, so yeah, we 911 is always a great option. But also having the school phone number just in case you need to, call them to pick up your kids early. You don't have to scatter around looking for it. Or non-emergency numbers for the police, having them in your phone pre-saved, or the domestic violence hotline. We can provide those numbers for you, or even the Mujeres Unidas domestic violence location number. So I would think having them on your phone and having them with your children's phones or written them down would be very beneficial just in case of an emergency and we're trying to move quickly or anything like that. Do you think you can have, write them down on your phone, or would you think, having a picture of it?
Yes, I can do actually both. Keep them on my phone and actually keep a little copy of my purse and give them to my kiddos too, so we can all each one have. So,
That's good. Another thing that I did want to talk about was like the computers and the phones. Everybody's, on it. And we need to know that, you can be tracked by them. So mostly the digital safety is that we need to talk about and go over. So you know that you need to turn off your locations for your phone, right? And do you know how to do that in the settings?
I haven't done that yet, but I can maybe look into it.
Yeah, so we just in case you ever, need to not be located, we know how to do that. You can also do incognito browsing just in case, you want to search for a shelter or something like that. Um, and there's no record or somewhere that he can track you with it. Um, try not saving your passwords to your banking information or anything like that. So nobody has access to it except for you.
Okay.
Um, so sorry.
Mhm.
I would think, getting a little help getting into turning off your locations, or the Bluetooth GPS and adjusting your settings for your privacy. That would be a great start. We can also include your children in this because, I'm pretty sure they have cell phones,
Mhm.
and, just so we can, have everything checked off. Um, Another thing I did want you to know is that you're not alone. You do have rights. I know that you're undocumented, and even as an undocumented person, there are shelters that will not ask about these types of situations or your immigration status or anything like that. And there are legal aids that can help you, like the VA, WA, or the U visa, um, since you've experienced violence, and that can help you a lot. And you are so brave, taking these steps. This is just a plan for you, and no one else needs to see it, unless you want to share it with your children or anybody. But if you ever want to change anything about it, or like Mirna had said, if you ever want to go back and revisit the protective orders, or anything like that, you are not alone and we can go over it again together. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you so much for all that info. I'll definitely go ahead and apply some of that information that you gave me, and I'll start setting up some of those things that are very important for me to use. Thank you for making a plan for me.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and continuing to work with us. You're not alone.
Thank you, Ms. Young. We'll see you in our next appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you.